Hi, everyone. Tom Savansary, Premier Trust Advisors. Hope you're having a great start to the week. Just want to come to you with this quick video. I've been thinking about things, and certainly around these times, we have more time to probably think about things. And, at its core level in our lives, I think everyone's shooting for pretty much the same thing. We want success, we want happiness, we want fulfillment in our lives. And the reality is that no one's going to give that to us. We have to find that for ourselves and take responsibility for shaping our lives in terms of what we want to do and how we want to spend our days. And sometimes it requires us to kind of step back and take a look at where we are and see kind of what are things we want to maybe change or address. And I almost equate it to finding ourselves on the map here of you are here, and then helping chart a course of where to take it, so you can obtain the things in your life that you truly value and will give you most happiness and fulfillment. And sometimes it requires us to kind of step back and go back to fundamentals. This clearly is related to finances, for sure, because there's so much financial information out there. Sometimes it's hard to know where to change or what to do, and it puts people in position to maybe pause and do nothing, and which can be probably the riskiest thing to do. So with that in mind, I wanted to share some tidbits from a book I truly love. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon, which was written back in 1926 by George Clason. And it shares some financial advice through a collection of parables set about 4,000 years ago in the ancient world of Babylon. And so I want to share some, three core things I think I'd love for you to take away and think about. And they start off, the first one is fairly straightforward. It says, start thy purse to fattening. And really what that's hinting at is saving money, right? We make certain income, and they even have they talk about it in terms of gold coins, that so for each 10 coins you take in, spend but 9. So it's telling you to save at least 10%. This has been for a long period of time. Hopefully you can save more, but say 10, and you start storing that away and saving that for a future date when you're going to need that money. And so for us, that's an important key. And usually the methodology for saving usually goes with like this. It goes income minus expenses equals what you can save. And unfortunately for a lot of people in this country, that ends up being zero at the end. So we do have to flip the script a little bit and say income minus savings is what you get to spend. And you only spend that amount and don't go into consumer debt. And so it's a different mind shift, and unfortunately for a lot of Americans, it's not happening. But we need to be paying ourselves first and treating ourselves as number one instead of money going elsewhere, like to the government or to financial institutions, wherever, that are taking some of our wealth. And this requires us to think about emergency funds, right? We always heard the 6 months of emergency funds, but it's also the opportunity funds that we want to build up on top of that, because luck is really preparation meeting opportunity. And if you are in a position of having some cash ready, there are likely going to be opportunities coming down the road here that most people are not going to be able to take advantage of. So it's important to have that. So the second part of this is control thy expenses, right? This is, pretty basic stuff too, right? We want to spend less than we make. And us, we take the adage of the first part of this is that we're saving first anyway. And then we spend very, very specifically in areas that bring us the most value. How often people actually look at all their expenses and budget and understand, are the dollars that they're allocating to wherever, are they serving them in their lives at the highest level? They give them the most satisfaction. And sometimes you need to just stop and take a look at what's happening and where your money's going. And unfortunately for a lot of people, and certainly what I'm coming across, is they're spending money in places where it's actually causing significant inefficiencies in their lives, in their financial lives specifically, that are losing money to a whole host of different things and in places people are not even aware of because they're just kind of on autopilot. And so a lot of the money and wealth, if they could recapture some of that, it actually may allow them to save more, invest more, and even take less risk because they're keeping more of the money that they make. So certainly an important area. And the last one out of this small little video is make thy gold multiply. And this is really centered around, yes, you need to save, but you also have to get your money to start working for you. And you hear that term very often. And unfortunately, the way we've been taught is put it into accounts that you just pile in there, and hopefully someday it's going to turn into income for you and be able to allow you to stop working, and so you use that in retirement, and that's the typical approach. What this is also hinting at is that how do we have our money that we're saving get to work for us now to create income for us now, and keep that money moving instead of having it stagnate into accounts, and hopefully it'll be there someday. Get our money moving and creating or building assets that are going to generate us income now and in the future, because we don't know what's going to happen to us. So having other streams of income is so key. And that's what's so important, is building an asset that is going to be able to provide you some predictable income, and it doesn't have to be when you retire. Think about creating those now. So hopefully this was helpful. I just wanted to share this with you to help you maybe think about, maybe certain areas within your financial life you may want to take a look at. And I'm always here if you want to chat about them. Love to kind of hear and help anyone who's looking for some assistance. So have a great rest of the week and talk to you soon. Take care.